everyone, welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today we are doing the haul part of my Cape Cod trip. This is going to be a really weird haul because this trip was not about antiquing. It was more about seeing things, and I just happened to pick some things up along the way. So I thought I'd show you what I buy when I'm out and about as somebody who tries to disengage from fast fashion and be a little bit more conscious in my consumerism. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna start with all non-antique stuff, nothing from the antique stores, and at the end I'll wrap up with my usual vintage content. So if you have no interest in what I buy outside of that, just skip on over to the antique part that will be marked in little marker things that happen. But yeah, to start, anytime I'm out and about, I go to a pet store. I got a couple toys for Spooky. I got this cute little Provincetown stuffed lobster toy. So I don't always buy toys when I go to these pet stores. I'm usually just looking if they carry something a little bit different. In this case, Spooky has a toy that's this texture that she's been licking to death to the point that I needed to throw it away. It smells so bad. I found this guy. It's also a bigger thing for her to lick, and she can also do kind of like that bunny kick thing with it. She's been enjoying this. I literally got it out to put in the pile for this video, and she insisted I open it and start playing with it, so I'm pretty happy with this buy. These guys here, they're just an interesting type of mice I haven't seen before. They seem like they're a little bit more paper-based. I don't know, they're just kind of weird. But the reason I got them is because they're really lightweight, and Spooky tends to like her mice on the harder side, which sounds strange, but she doesn't want something soft and plushy. She wants something that's just a lighter weight and that she can really hit. So I wanted to see if she likes these, and if she does, she'll probably eventually destroy them, and I'll know that she likes them before I buy them again. Speaking of as a slow fashion advocate, kind of a failure, or I just want to talk about, I acknowledge I'm not perfect all the time, but I don't feel like I show. So I wanted to show an instance of me buying from a fast fashion brand. So I forgot my flip-flops, which was a huge bummer because I get pretty high-end flip-flops with really good foot support. So I was really annoyed to not have my flip-flops. I was trying to think of the cheapest place I could buy flip-flops that would be flip-flops that I know would stay together enough for me to use for years. As a kid, I always got Old Navy flip-flops, and you could usually wear them for several years or several miles of walking before they'd fall apart. So I wanted to go to Old Navy to pick up these guys. I don't shop at Old Navy, or I really try hard not to. And then while in the checkout line, Old Navy they always only have one cashier and not enough people working. I always feel really bad for their stuff. And the checkout line got me. I got these really cute little heart bicolor glasses that I really didn't need, and was definitely an impulse purchase because I was bored. And the other thing I got, which I have no regrets on, is they're these sour punch pickle roulette pieces. So they are all green, and one or two in here are pickle flavored and the rest are their normal flavored. I'm gonna make my friends do this with me. I have no regrets on buying this. Although, of course, I do regret giving Old Navy any sort of profit. But yeah, I just wanted to show an instant, especially on vacation when sometimes you just need to do something the quickest. I am just not as good about being intentional, so I wanted to show you a good example of a failure or a time I wasn't perfect. Which, by the way, happens a lot. I just want to make sure that I talk about it when it does happen. Other things I got, so when we went to P-Town, I knew their bookstores would have really good queer romance sections. So I picked up 2 romance novels. I picked up Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. I haven't read this one, but I've heard really good things. She's about to release another book, and I was looking for something kind of sea related and lesbian, and this one fits that bill. I haven't read it yet though, so I can't tell you if it's any good. And then Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake is the other one I picked up. I was not going to pick up this book, but then I saw that it was a lesbian romance that's HGTV related and a lesbian carpenter. And so here we are. It just kind of checked a lot of boxes for me. Again, I haven't read it. I don't know if I like it. I'll let you know maybe if I remember. So those are 2 books that I picked up from the bookstore there. And yeah, they had a phenomenal queer romance novel section. So I was pretty excited about that. It sometimes can be harder to find femme on femme, or women love women, whatever you want to call it. And they had a pretty awesome selection. So I was happy. And then I picked up this really cute little lighthouse patch from Cape Cod National Seashore. I went and I saw this lighthouse, and I have this dream that I'm going to either make or thrift a pair of just plain overalls, and I'm going to cover that sucker in patches. So I've been building up my patch collection accordingly. I'm collecting patches for a pair of overalls that I just keep hoping I'll come across one at the thrift store. But I might have to either decide if I'm going to just hunker down and sew them myself, or if I'm going to to try to buy from a slow fashion brand because I've been looking for years and I have not yet found a pair. Candy is a really popular thing that I pick up while on vacation. I love candy. So this is from the Provincetown Fudge Factory. I think these were called confetti cookie bites. And in my head, like my heart and my head were in two different places. My heart, I read cookie dough bites. Even though it said cookie bites, there was no false deliveries or false promises here. It was my own fault that I bought these, and I can't say they're my favorite because they're like basically like little tiny cookies instead of being cookie dough. But like I said, that's 100% on me. Another thing I pick up a lot when I'm out on vacation is candles. I try to not order candles online for a lot of reasons. One, you can't smell them, but also I like to pick them up from small shops and booths and things. So I got one from Flotsam and Jetsam Goods, and it's called Salty Dog, and it's grapefruit, mint, lavender, and sea salt. Oh, this one smells so good. So the reason I picked up candles, I don't pick up candles too often when I travel, but I'm in desperate need of spring scents, spring and summer candles. I have so many good fall and winter candles, and it seems like I find a spring and summer candle I like, and I burn through it pretty fast, and it's just harder for me to find them that I like. The other one that I got is just Cape Cod soy candle. Established 2008. This is hydrangea. This is your like classic grandma floral candle. I'm not gonna even lie to you guys. I think it's a little cleaner than your classic grandma floral candle, but she's for sure an old lady smell, but I like it. So these are my two summer candles I'll throw into the rotation. That was just kind of all the random like tourist junk I buy. When I am out, it is always really tempting to buy, you know, those cute little sweatshirts that have like Cape Cod on them that are like pastel and fun. And I just try to not buy clothing as a souvenir because ultimately you're likely not going to hold on to that long. But yeah, that's kind of what I look for when I'm in like a small town and just kind of a little bit in a shopping mood and want to support small businesses, but I also don't want to like compromise certain things that are important to me. But now we'll get into our antiques haul. I went to two antique shops. One was in P-Town and the other was this giant antique mall in Yarmouth. First, the only thing I got at the antique shop in P-Town is this really gorgeous vase. They have it labeled as a Fenton, and I'm a little skeptical. However, this piece is definitely hand blown. It's a really beautiful artistic piece, and I really like it. I don't need another vase, although I am phasing out a few vases from my collection because I never use them, and so I guess we'll see how this one works in it. And then I picked up a mustache cup. It has a forget-me-not on it. It's super cute. As you know, I'm a sucker for forget-me-nots, and I also just like love that like this cup for man has forget-me-not on it, and I've kind of wanted a mustache cup for a while. I don't know why. I have no good reason for needing a mustache cup, but it's kind of been on my list of something I want, and this one was perfect. Unfortunately, it said it came with a saucer, but we could not find the saucer anywhere, so that was a bit of a bummer. And unrelated to anything, things that I did not purchase are seashells. These are, I'll like lay them out and show you a picture. They're mainly scallop shells and slipper snail shells with some jingle and oyster mixed in. Shells are just something I always bring back. I think you can kind of see behind me here. I use shells a lot to decorate my home. I like live very far. Well, I don't live that far from a beach. There are multiple beaches in Seattle. But I live far from like a seashell beach, but I just like seashells have been one of my favorite things in my life and have been something I've collected for a really long time. And beachcombing is one of my favorite things to do when I am in a beach town, so I always try to bring a handful of seashells back. I kind of usually limit myself to what I can hold in one hand because like you shouldn't be taking a ton of shells from the beaches. For each day of like shell collecting, I'll lay them all out and I'll usually only keep half or maybe even a third. This is perfect and I can add this to my decor. And then another teacup I got at the antique store is this guy. It's a really stunning cup. It has the kind of like decorative bottom thing here, a lot of gold, and I really thought the navy blue was pretty striking, and it was I think less than $5, which it's usually pretty hard to find a cup this detailed for that price in Seattle. So I picked it up, and this is not really something I have in my collection. Oh, and I forgot, I had this, I've been looking for I have 3 earlobe piercings, I guess you call them, here. And I have been kind of on the hunt for jewelry for them that I can just leave in and sleep in. I found these. This one is a little tiny lobsters that I think are so cute. I was really hoping to find some oysters, but I couldn't find oysters, which was a bummer. And then these guys here, There are 3 things that look like bubbles, but you could really pair with like anything. Like I think these are super versatile. Right now my stack is like still pretty nautical themed. I think I have like a seashell here. Towns like these usually have pretty good like sterling silver basic earrings. But back to the antique store, I got these 3 shell buttons for $2. I'm a sucker for like carved shell buttons. I thought they were a pretty good price. When you look at, there's a lot of like 1940s blouses that just use 3 buttons and then start to snap, because the idea is you're always tucking a shirt in. So it'll be useful for that. And then I'm excited about these. These were $10 and they're really, really cute little dress clips. They don't match each other perfectly, which I actually kind of love. I love that one's red and one's pink. I think they're really cute, and I really like dress clips. I have not been good about. I have like one set that I have not been good about wearing. There's something that I aspire to be better about wearing, and they were, again, pretty good price for Seattle. Like my baseline antique price is Seattle antique prices, which are astronomically high. I know that probably a lot of the antiques I'm like, oh, it was a pretty good price. Everyone's like, oh, that doesn't sound like a good price, but trust me, Seattle antiques, wildly expensive. Another thing I found that I think is really interesting, I saw in the case there was somebody who had these buttons, and these Bakelite buttons that are really stunning. They're not like a toggle. I don't know how to explain these buttons, but I think they're really freaking cool, and I can see them used in a lot of different ways. But these were $15, and then this whole big bag of green glass buttons was $20, and I would bet there's like 30-ish buttons in this bag for $20, and then these were obviously like more expensive. It's always interesting to see how people price things, because I would have definitely priced these higher than this, but maybe it's because it's on the card. I don't know. But yeah, I did pick up those antique buttons, and I'm excited to use them. Green is a color I can use a lot because a lot of flower stems and stuff are green, so they fit really well into a lot of color palettes. For linens, the antique store I went to, I saw a lot of moths, like clothing moths there. My rule in general with antique linens, but especially if I see evidence of moth stuff going on in the store, is I actually will leave them outside until I'm able to get them into a super hot wash. Just because I obviously have a lot of clothing that moths can eat, a lot of fabric that moths can eat, so I'm really, really careful about making sure that these things are demothed before they come into my home. This first one is absolutely stunning. It's these, oh, what did my mom call them? I think she called them Sunbonnet Sue tablecloths, and this one is just like particularly stunning. There's like what look like seagulls going up around her. Like just whoever did the work on this, there's a little dog. Ooh, I didn't notice the little dog. It's the same on both sides. They've taken the like green polka dot trim and sewn it into her dress. Like this is just really, really, really incredibly done. So at some point I will hopefully be making this into something. But yeah, I thought this was particularly spectacular when it comes to like this sunbonnet suit style of embroidery. Another thing I got there is I got these two little crocheted guys. They're just crocheted doilies. Again, I have a doily project that hopefully I'll tackle next year. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty intimidated. So it might be for that, but also I think these would make really cute patches or things like that to cover stains or something. I don't know. I just thought these were a really great tiny little size, and were also really, really like nice and trim looking. We have another Sunbonnet Sue. I am a sucker for Sunbonnet Sue, and I thought this one was fun. So there's 3 Sunbonnet Sues on this. I really like that one's a brunette, one has black hair, and one has blonde hair. I think that's really, really fun. So I liked the detail of that on this guy. I will say there's quite a bit of staining on it, so I'm gonna work on those stains. I did an initial wash. I never put these in the dryer, so I don't have to worry about setting the stain, but I am probably gonna try a retro clean soap with some baking soda treatments and stuff to try to get some of the staining out. But I thought this one was really nice, and I was thinking about how you could kind of cut out the middle, put it on a skirt. I don't quite yet know exactly how I'm gonna use this, but I know it will be useful in a linens project. And again, I am a sucker for the Sunbonnet Sue situation. This is an addition to my handkerchief collection for a handkerchief blouse project I'm planning. I love this one because it had these cute little blue strawberries. This guy here is a tea towel. I love making blouses from tea towels, and I thought this color scheme was really nice and could actually tie into a lot of other color schemes. I think it's so cute. And last is I got this, like, it's a fairly large tablecloth. I'm not gonna probably unfold it all the way. And it has these little embroidered flowers as well as some embroidered trim that I think is all hand done. It's really stunning, and I think I could make a really, really beautiful like long sleeve blouse with this. So that's the plan, because I think I actually have enough of the fabric, and it's in pretty phenomenal condition. Like, I didn't see any staining or anything like that, so I think, yeah, I can make a really excellent tablecloth blouse thing with it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this haul. It was definitely a weird one, but I'm still just trying to keep the haul videos partitioned out from the vlog videos, since I know the vlogs aren't everybody's cup of tea. As always, you can support this channel by giving me a thumbs up and commenting down below. What's your favorite thing? What do you buy when you're on vacation that maybe you don't buy when you're home? And then, of course, you can subscribe and stick around. I post every single Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Bye!